Hey family, it's your asset protector here. And today I want to talk to you about something that nobody likes to think about. What happens if you outlive your term life insurance policy? Yeah, you paid on it for 10, 20, maybe 30 years. And then what? Well, that's what I want to break down for you. Number one, term life insurance is temporary. That's where they get you at. It's a trap. So just like car insurance, you pay on it, pay on it, pay on it, but you never have a wreck. Then what happens to all that money? Life insurance kind of works the same way, except, well, people pay on their life insurance and other people die, just like with car insurance. People pay on the insurance, someone dies, then the insurance company pays out a portion of what everybody has been paying into the policy to make that family, well, not whole, but to cover that death claim that they promised that they would pay. You can't bring a person back, so no matter how much money you pay, it's not like you're making a person whole as if you wrecked your car and then you got it fixed or they put you in a new car. Unfortunately, once we are gone, that chapter is over. That's what it is. So term life insurance, though, it does expire if you don't pass within a certain amount of time. And that certain amount of time is, let's say, for example, you have a 10-year policy and you live 15 years. Well, then that policy expired 5 years before your death. So the only way to end up getting paid from that policy is this. You got to die first. So if you don't die first, then the policy does not pay out. So all the money that you paid into that policy is going to go right back to the insurance company, and that's where you don't get none of it. Unless you get, you can get a return of premium policy, but for most term policies, and most of you don't know that, but for most of the time, with your term policy, when that 20-year or 10-year or 30-year, whatever that period is, when it ends, you don't have no life insurance anymore. So think about it. Now it has ended, you're older, and new policies are going to cost you way more money. Way more money. And at this time, you could be uninsurable. Why? Because you might have a health challenge that's not covered. You may have a diagnosis that's not covered. Or if it is covered, it may be very expensive and you may not be able to afford it. So it's almost like renting protection, so to speak, with no equity and no end. So that's not good. Think about the last time you went to a really nice Airbnb, you were traveling, and or a hotel, and you really liked that place. And you saw all of the overhead molding, crown molding, and you saw the baseboard molding, the tile floors, and the fancy sink faucets, and just the way things work. The bathroom was technologically advantageous, things that you don't normally see in your day-to-day life, or you don't have it in your home. But you can't take that hotel room with you when you go. You can't stay there. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of there when that time expires. The same is true. You rented a car, same is true. Whether it's a hotel, a car, Airbnb, or a term life insurance policy, you're renting it. And that's not what you want to do. So the cost of waiting to upgrade or convert your insurance, it can be very expensive. Most people wait too long to convert or upgrade their insurance when premiums are already sky high. It's high as hell already. Why are you continuing to wait? Every year you get older, the premium is going to rise. And the older you get, the closer you're getting to death. Even though you may be in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, or even your 50s, and you can't concede, you don't have to. You could be in your 60s, it doesn't matter, right? I just attended a funeral of my brother, 62 years old, recently. And he was riding a motorcycle, had an accident, didn't have no, he was in good shape if he was riding a motorcycle. He wasn't on his sick bed. He wasn't in intensive care. He was out like you and me doing regular life, everyday living. And then all of a sudden, boom, just like that. And it happened to him, it can happen to me, and it can also happen to you. So you want to make sure that you put provisions in place before that time comes. You look around, you're 60 years old, insurance is going to cost you way more money than it did when you were 70. If you were 60 years old, most likely you're going to outlive the insurance, the term policy. So why not switch to something permanent, like an index universal life insurance? That's going to lower the cost. It's going to create high cash value that you can use, growth that you can use while you look. This is news that you can use. You can use this while you're living. And we like to think about life insurance as death insurance. Final expense is death insurance. Those different type of burial plans, that is death insurance. I'm talking about how you can set yourself up in a way that your insurance premium is always going to be the same. It's never going to expire. It's going to outlast you. And if you find yourself in a financial crunch, guess what you can do? You can go and borrow from your money and use that to get yourself out of a crisis. Case in point, so many people lost their businesses because it wasn't properly insured. So many people lost their homes because they didn't have any money that they could go in and pull that out to keep themselves afloat. Many people lost their relationships. Yes, a lot of marriages ended in divorce because people were upset. They were sick and tired of being broke and struggling. They were mad at each other, locked in the house 24 hours a day, couldn't go nowhere. Everything you got, you had to have somebody bring it to you. And life during that time was tremendously miserable for most people. Now, me, myself, I'm kind of a homebody. And I'm a newlywed, so I'm in love, and I'm locked in the house with someone I love. Now, that's a recipe for goodness. And so in my house, good things were going on, but that may not have been the case in your house or someone else that you know. So you want to put these provisions in place. Some term policies, they do include conversion privileges, but there's a deadline. And so waiting could cost you a lot of money. Delaying could cost you your entire life insurance plan. Like I said, the policy goes out. Let's say you're 70 years old. You bought the policy at 40, now you're 70. How much do you think it's going to cost you relative to that person who was in their 20s or 40s at the time you purchased that same policy? Think about it. You're only hurting yourself. The high cost of waiting is vicious. Permanent insurance, like an index universal life insurance policy, is not just coverage. It's permanent insurance. It doesn't expire. It bills you tax-free cash value. Again, this is news you can use. Money you can use. Who gets excited about dying and leaving money to their grandchildren or to their children? I don't think so. Nobody. It provides living benefits like income during retirement, or maybe you become ill, or maybe, like I said, you end up in a COVID situation. You can use that money right there, okay? It becomes a wealth tool, not just a death policy. And so many people that I talk to, when they think about life insurance, they often talk about, well, I don't want to talk about that, because I'm not want to talk about dying. It's not just about dying. And whether you want to talk about dying, whether you want to keep putting it on, everything has an expiration date. Everything has a shelf life. You, my friend, are going to die. It's not whether or not you're going to die. It's not if, but it's when. You're going to check up out of here. And you may feel young and invincible. Hell, I feel young and invincible too. I mean, my energy is not as strong as it was when I was a teenager. And yes, I get winded when I'm coming up the steps. And yes, I wear eyeglasses. And yes, I have gray under some of this black that you see, but it's not that much. All of those are signs that I'm getting closer and closer to death. And you have your signs too, and you can ignore them whether you want to or not. That's fine. But you better have a system in place. And you got to think about the people that you love, that's coming, that's behind you, your children, your grandchildren, your siblings, your nieces and nephews, leaving a legacy. It's not just you coming and using up everything, eating up everything, and wearing the hell out of everybody. It's about you leaving a legacy, but at the end of the day, making sure that you're covered so that when you do die, there's money in place to put you in the ground the way you would like to be put away. And number two, during your lifetime, if you have a financial issue where there's a need, then you have something you can pull from. Okay? All right? So we're not just protecting your wealth here. We're not just protecting your death. We're protecting your life. We're protecting your retirement and your legacy. Okay? All right. So if you're interested in learning more about how to take that term and turn it into something else, and you're sitting on a term policy right now and wondering what to do next, then don't wait until it's too late. Reach out. Holler at your boy. Let me help you out, okay? We can talk about upgrading your policy. We can talk about conversions. And some of your policies have conversions right in the policy. With the same company, you can convert to a product in the same company without having to show insurability like you're going to have to do if your policy expires. Meaning you're going to have to take a blood and urine test to get a new policy if that one expires, or either your family's going to be left with a financial burden. So that's just something that you can use. Like I said, with the IUL, it's something that's going to grow and provide money for you during your lifetime. All right? So now I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to get out of that. Listen, I'm your asset protector. And if this resonates with you, drop the word ready, READY. Let me know you're ready to get started and to learn more about this, or either reach out to me on my website. It's www.unitedprospero.com for your free consultation tailored to your goals, your plan, your specific goals. Okay? So let's build prosperity on purpose. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.